Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news. The Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival delay is called off.
The parliamentary commissioner responds to reports highlighting mistakes made in the voter registry system. That story straight ahead.
Free National Movement supporters take over Golden Gates. That story's coming up tonight, straight ahead.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight. Faced with heavy backlash from Bahamians and prospective visitors, the controversial decision to postpone Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival has been reversed. We understand that the three-day festival, which was pushed to May 18th to 20th, is back to being held on the original date of May 4th through 6th. Just 3 days ago, Prime Minister Perry Christie confirmed reports that the annual festival had been postponed due to the approaching general election, which is expected to be held during the first or second week of May. This sparked widespread outrage among locals and visitors who had already booked flights and hotels in anticipation of the event. Major stakeholders also feared they would lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. In defiance of what it called a stupid and political decision, the Carnival Band Owners Association announced that it would still hold the road march on the initial date of May 6th. We understand that the decision to scrap all carnival events on Grand Bahama has also been reversed. In other news, when you key in garbage, you get garbage out. That was Parliamentary Commissioner Sherlyn Hall's response to reports of hundreds of discrepancies discovered on the current voter register. Hall says at the end of the day, workers at the department are only human. Jasmine Brown reports.
The parliamentary commissioner admits that mistakes have been made along the way, but he says his department is rushing to quickly address them.
Every election we have typo errors, but the whole idea is to pick it up before it goes out to the public. We try to tell our people to be as cautious as they can, careful, so not to make those errors, but it happens and we correct them.
According to that NASA Guardian report, the names of hundreds of people appear on the register twice in different constituencies or polling divisions. And that's not all. According to the register, some voters were born in the 1700s and 1800s. The date of birth of a man registered in Killarney polling division number 5 is listed as October 3rd, 1764. In another slip-up, the date of birth of a woman registered in Exuma and the Ragged Island constituency is listed as September 27, 1784. And if that register is to be believed, some voters were even born this year. That was the case of a voter in Golden Isles whose birthday is listed as February 18, 2017. Then there was the case involving a woman registered in Central and South Abaco whose birthday was listed as January 24, 2017. In addition to those discrepancies, there were also issues with voters being registered more than once. One voter registered 3 times using 3 different addresses, including Garden Hills Polling Division number 11, Garden Hills Polling Division number 3, and Golden Gates Polling Division number 9. In another case, one man whose date of birth was listed as November 4th, 1974 was registered on 2 different islands. That voter was registered in Marco City Polling Division number 15 and North Abaco Polling Division number 7.
With respect to some people who registered dual registration, we are deleting the oldest voter's card that come to our attention. Now, why people would do that, I do not know.
When asked if he believes these glaring errors are an embarrassment for the department, Hall said no.
No one likes mistakes, but in terms of embarrassment, we train our people the right way. People continue to make mistakes. It's just like doing an exam. You tell the person what to do, and they still going for the wrong answer in the exam. What could you do? But we'll correct the mistakes.
As for those who say these latest blunders are an indication that the department needs to move away from handwritten voters' cards, Hall says no system is ever perfect.
You still have humans behind the computers. You know, you key in garbage, you get garbage out.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, Bain and Grantstown MP Dr. Bernard Nottage charged last night that the Free National Movement is trying to cheat the election process by buying votes. During the Progressive Liberal Party's joint candidate launch last night, Nottage urged PLP supporters to not refuse the money, but remember their loyalty to the PLP. Kyle Joaquin has more.
Money is back on the ground. I ain't gonna tell you don't take it. Take it and go for gold.
After the 2012 general election, the PLP found itself refuting claims that it bought votes to secure its win. Now in 2017, it's the PLP claiming the FNM is dishing out money in exchange for votes. FNM Deputy Leader Peter Turnquist quickly denied that assertion, insisting the FNM has never engaged in the practice of buying votes and constantly encourages candidates to run clean and fair campaigns. Last night, Nottage, who is the minister responsible for elections, also hinted that the general election will take place in early May.
And when the first week or the second week of May comes, this party, under the leadership of Bernard's husband, is going to return as the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Can you tell? Speaker after speaker pumped up their supporters with this one message.
Hubert Menace is the weakest leader ever produced by a major political party in this country.
But Menace finished.
Prime Minister Perry Christie once again urged those campaigning for the PLP to ensure all party supporters are registered.
Listen now, we have a short sprint, and I'm using the word sprint. This ain't no long distance race. We have a short sprint, but a big battle is ahead.
Last night's joint meeting was for the PLP's candidates for Fort Charlotte, Mount Moriah, Killarney, and Bain and Grantstown.
I have always been available as a member of parliament. I don't duck the people. Every week I held my office hours. My only concern is the people of Mount Moriah, because I am still one of you.
The PLP is the only party who believes in and has fought for the empowerment of women.
Reporting for our news, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Meantime, Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Menace says the country deserves to have a prime minister who has the stamina and work ethic to do the job and not one who falls asleep in public. Giorgio Bain has that story.
Hundreds flood the Golden Gates Park to show their support for the Free National Movement and the leader, Dr. Hubert Menace, to hear his plans for Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival, value-added tax, and the environment. Hubert! Alexander! Menace! We will rock you!
We will rock you!
Pouncing on a widely circulated photo of Prime Minister Perry Christie sleeping at a recent school renaming, Menace told supporters that it is clear that the nation's leader is no longer up for the job.
Christie is falling asleep in front of investors. He's falling asleep in front of our school children.
Let's send Perry into retirement. He got plenty time to sleep then.
He's falling asleep in meetings. And I'm also told that he's diving conks in cabinet. Given the demands the country faces, we need a prime minister who has the stamina and work ethics to do the job.
The FNM leader also criticized Christie's actions in recent months, namely the use of his middle finger at a PLP event, then Christie's assertion that it is easy to piss away money while addressing students at the University of the Bahamas on Monday. Menace says this is evidence that the Prime Minister is angry, tired, and confused.
Because he will not retire voluntarily, the Bahamian people will retire him in a short time. If being Prime Minister was just about talking all the time, Christie would be the man for the job. But he's no longer up to the job. He's angry, tired, and confused. He is incompetent, and he's irresponsible.
Meanwhile, the PLP sought to paint Minnis as a poor choice for Prime Minister, pointing out that his own parliamentary team turned against him and had him ousted as opposition leader. Unfazed by criticism, Minnis also addressed the recurring issues at the city landfill and questioned what really happened with Renew Bahamas. Minnis called the recent change of the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival dates another nail in the Christie administration's political coffin.
Look how they made a boo-boo out of the carnival. Can't even decide on a date. Inconveniencing many who had already made plans. The FNM will privatize Carnival.
Reporting for our news, I'm Georgia Bain.
Democratic National Alliance leader Granville McCartney is accusing the Free National Movement of trying to poach his party's candidates. McCartney made the claims during a press conference to announce the DNA's shadow cabinet at the party's East Street headquarters. He alleged that for months, the FNM has repeatedly approached DNA candidates. He claimed the most recent attempt was made this week.
They're trying to get members of the DNA some members to withdraw their candidacy from the DNA.
Our News attempted to reach FNM officials today. However, our calls were not returned up to press time. Meantime, McCartney says he believes the attempts by the FNM were an act of desperation. He says he finds it hypocritical that the FNM would make such attempts when they have maintained that the DNA is not a factor in the 2017 general election.
The reason for that is they are desperate. They are desperate. This race is between the DNA and the FNM. Period. The PLP finish. Yes. The PLP finish.
Still to come on our news, the DNA labels voter registration errors a disgrace. Stay with us.